I've unmuted everyone, and if anyone has a question.
Hi, Stuart. You told me about Shakti, and greed on the all surrounded by universe, the same thing, this all same energy. I think so. I think, but I'm not too sure.
Suko, what is the question?
Oh, okay. You told me about Shakti.
Suko, please sit still while you ask. Okay, don't move. And,
Shakti.
yeah, go ahead.
Shakti. I don't know how to pronounce Shakti
Shakti.
or Shakti.
Yeah.
Shakti and greed, all surrounded by universe, grid like a line. Same.
Suko, please sit still.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You cannot hear me, so that's why.
So what is the question?
Oh. Shakti
Shakti, yes.
and grid, maybe I grid surrounded by universe or lines, is the same thing.
The energy you feel in these classes is the transmission of Shakti. And I teach the classes by simply getting out of the way and letting this higher force come down. And it flows through me, and then the overflow of it goes into each and every person that's sitting in the class. And it goes into people through the eyes. And then it will go into the chakra system and act as a catalyst to develop the chakra system. So the Shakti is the energy. I mean, the energy of this class was so strong, I could barely talk when it was over with. And that really is the power of higher creative energy nurturing us and helping us to build a system inside that truly can, work out all elements of our life and have a spiritual life and ultimately get one's freedom from all the rounds of samsara, karma, all of this other stuff. So the Shakti is really the energy that flows. As people open and build a system inside, the Shakti flows directly into them. The higher energy will flow directly into them. And hopefully, eventually, they themselves will evolve to where they can transmit that Shakti to other people and help them to grow. Everything is energy. Everything in life is energy. Light bulbs, stones, everything is energy. And the whole purpose of doing inner work is to open so we can receive that energy and let it truly nurture us inside, help us to grow and build a very strong chakra system. I mean, look, cars don't run without gasoline. Refrigerators don't work without electricity. They're now getting cars that run on electricity. Understand, everything needs energy. We need food in order to live. Understand, we need air in order to live, to breathe. Everything is energy. And the meditation is about the transmission of spiritual energy, which the purpose of which is to nurture people so they can build an inner life that is strong enough so they can have a connection with God.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question?
I have a question, Stuart. Is to the degree that we're feeling the energy the same degree that we're actually receiving it? In other words, if we're not feeling it, we might not be open and actually receiving it at that level?
You're always receiving the energy. You know, even if it's just a trickle, you can't live without that energy being part of your chemistry inside. You know, so you're always receiving the energy. And the more you open, the stronger the experience becomes. So you can take it deep inside. I mean, you know, everything is alive because it's being nurtured by higher energy in the universe. Every living creature. And this is just about building a system, so, as I keep repeating, so that we can have the inner strength to have a direct connection with higher energy, and ultimately learn how to work out our karma, learn how to receive spiritual energy, and learn how to activate Kundalini. In order to do these things, you've got to be really strong inside. You know, I mean, it's just not a thing that occurs in a profound way in people that don't build an inner life that's strong enough to do it. Simply because these energies are really powerful. And they can literally burn us up, but we need a chemistry inside. I mean, life itself is such a powerful energy that just sucks everybody. It's like a big vacuum cleaner that sucks everybody's energy out of them. The energy goes into making money, relationships, you know, friendships, you know, whatever, you know, the energy pours out of us. We got to replace it. If we don't replace it, you know, it just sucks out. You know, people, you know, by the time they're 40 years old, they have meltdowns, you know, because life has sucked all that energy out of them. So you've got to replace it. I mean, you work, you make money, and you have to spend it, you know, and if you spend it beyond your means, you're really in trouble, you know. So you have to replace it. So we get salaries, make money, whatever, however we do it, to replace what we spend. I mean, it's all parallel. Everything is parallel to a spiritual life. I mean, I always kid around. My job is being a gas station attendant. You know? I pump people full of Shakti. And hopefully that really works for them and helps them to grow inside themselves. Does anyone else have a question? I hope this is clear, you know, because every class should add a certain degree of energy to us to give us more strength to be able to, you know, do the things we have to do in order to grow spiritually. That's why I always tell people, conserve it. Don't come to a meditation and go out and, you know, dance until 4 o'clock in the morning, you know? By the time you're finished, everything's going to be drained out of you. Try to conserve the energy. Try to recognize how valuable it is, what a treasure it is. That, you know, at least 4 times a week, people could come and sit in these classes for an hour and 15 minutes and absorb this kind of energy that they can use. I mean, this is like a miracle.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And don't ever take it for granted, because as soon as you take it for granted, it's all over. The growth stops. You know, I was saying, I think I mentioned it here. About a week ago, somebody sent me some photos of a couple of students I had, you know, like 30 years ago, 25 years ago. And to me, it was really, you know, I mean, it really broke my heart to see how in 20, you know, the people, people that really never in all that time developed a chakra system that truly connected them with higher energy in the universe. I always say, I guarantee only one thing in life: we all get older. And from point present to getting old is what we do with our lives. It's how we invest our time, our energy, what we do to grow, what we do to build an inner life, what we do to take the excess of the energy and build an external life for ourselves, which is wonderful also. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And you know, life has to be fun, it has to be amusing, we have to be able to laugh at ourselves. You know, we can't take ourselves so seriously that we destroy any kind of real inner experience of love and joy. And I know that because when I was younger, I really took myself much too seriously. I did. When I look back at all that, I just kind of laugh. I said, Stuart, what kind of schmuck were you? You really were very serious about yourself.
So Stuart, I have a question.
Yes.
Kind of around what Wendy was talking about how the feeling relates with the energy. Is it good to work to feel more in the meditation, or just focus on like opening? How
Exactly.
can I
If you really focus on opening inside, keeping your mind centered in the third chakra, opening your heart, you know, the throat, I mean, you will feel a great, I mean, you don't have to think about feeling, you know, or try to feel. You just focus and just expand that chakra system, and it will all open. The energy will become very powerful for you. That's what you have to do. You know, you can't, you know, you don't worry about I'm feeling a little, I'm feeling a lot. You just keep working to develop an inner life. And that makes room in you for this spiritual energy to come in. And that flow of energy will transform your whole inner life, and it'll transform your outer life, both. So just stay focused, ask, tap that need in yourself that truly wants to be with God, that wants a spiritual life. And then use your will to do these things so that you don't wind up drifting away and getting caught up in all kinds of stuff. And you really stay focused inside. That will bring an incredible depth of inner feeling and spirituality and growth. It's something you can't impose on yourself. You just have to do it. You just use this meditation to build a centered and a chakra system that enables you to do it. And you can, also inside yourself project images of growth. To focus in the third chakra, you can project the image of a great lotus flower there. And just nurture it by breathing into it. The breath that goes into it will expand the chakra system. It's like Rudy always told me, he said, chakras are just psychic muscles. That's all they are. And if you don't work them and use your mind and your breath to really work them and develop them, they atrophy. Like physical muscles atrophy if you don't get exercise. So one has to work the chakra system. You have to be able to develop it and to keep it from atrophying. And honestly, most people's mental and emotional problems exist because they have chakra systems that are very undeveloped, chakra systems that are really atrophying inside them. So they live in ego, they live in the mind, they live in all that conflict and tension because the chakra system isn't developed in them. And the really sad part of this is that they think that that's reality.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix that. And, it never gets fixed. But they think that's reality. And it's not. Does anyone else have a question? It's been a very long day. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Just to finish this, the need inside a human being determines how far they go in the development of a spiritual life. Not forcing the mind, forcing the breath, even forcing the will, because the need inside really determines what you're going to be willing to do within yourself to grow and develop a spiritual life. Then the other things come into play. The use of the mind to open the third chakra, the use of the breath to expand the heart center, to expand the third chakra, the use of the will, to focus the mind, to focus the breath. All of these things work together. They're like a a band, like an orchestra. That all of them have to come into attune themselves to each other. But the primary thing is really a need to do it, a need to truly have a state of enlightenment in your life. And that need, combined with will, mind, and breath, it makes it possible to develop the kind of inner life I'm talking about. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, then again, God bless you all. Thank you. And in all deepest humility, I'm so grateful to be here with all of you and to allow myself to be used this way. It's just an extraordinary gift. And I have nothing but gratitude to everybody and to God and to life and all the amazing things that keep taking place in life. So bless you all. And I will hopefully see everybody there'll be a class on Sunday. And you know, do your work at home. Sit, find that need inside, focus. So bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Good night.
So much, Stuart.